Well, it's Thursday at 4 o'clock, which means you are in for a treat. It's the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's the Bud List. It's also a time where we take a little break from what we normally do and read some viewer mail. We get tons of mail for the year 2023, and I keep several letters right in my pocket.
Oh, that one's good.
This one's not even addressed.
I was going to say, that one's not addressed.
They just know. You know what it could have been? Infrared.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of a big
I can't believe
mistake.
it. That shows the power of the post office.
Yeah, I mean, it does. They just knew.
Dear Wilds, love the show. Well, thank you. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Are you offering any tips or recipes on the show? Sincerely, Don. Well, thank you, Don. That's kind of outside of our jurisdiction, tips and Thanksgiving recipes. We'll do you one better. We have some Thanksgiving products for you.
We do?
Yes, it's bruised tomato can.
Oh.
Featuring the Cowboys' opponents, it's available in your local grocery stores, and production is ramping up. We're expecting a lot. Again, it's bruised tomato cans.
There he is.
Nationwide.
Greg loves it. You know, I liked it at first, Wild. I liked it.
That's not a cowboy.
Who is that? Who is that?
That's a tomato
Bruce.
can.
My
man.
back there putting the labels on the tomato can.
Not
My body. All right. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Number 3 on this week's Bud List, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Oh, wow.
And this one is all motivation. All right, all motivation.
Good for you.
First of all,
like
Dorian, congratulations on being named the starter over P.J. Walker. I think that's great. And look, do not let the fact that you're a rookie who was drafted in the 5th round define you. All right, look at the great Brock Purdy. All right, he was Mr. Irrelevant. Seriously, I'm not even gonna mention the other greats that we know were drafted low.
Other greats.
So no, go out there and play your game. Now I know it was tough sledding your first time. All right, you faced Baltimore, 3 interceptions, 52% completions. A QBR or passer rating that lower than a snake's belly. And I know that might not sound motivational, but it's just the facts, DTR. It's just what it was. But the facts also that you didn't know you were starting until a couple of hours before the game.
Right.
So you didn't have time to prepare. Now you've had all week to get ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I assume they'll put some things in the game plan that are catered right to what you do well. Pittsburgh is not, defense is good, not as good as Baltimore though. They don't sack the quarterback as much. So you can go out there and have a good game. They believe in you because they named you the starter. And I believe in you too, DTR.
Excellent.
Get it done.
Excellent.
All right, at number 2, Trevor Lawrence. Nick, look, I'm about facts, and I hate to put him on here. And look, I got to be honest with Trevor, because I do like Trevor. I don't love him like Nick, but I like him a lot, and I like his ability.
I'm starting to doubt that.
Well, here's the thing, though. Trevor, you didn't ask for this, all right? You didn't ask for the Bugle Boys. You didn't ask for the nickname, the prince that was promised. You didn't ask for the royal music that is playing right now. You asked for none of it. You just wanted to go out and play some football, all right? You didn't ask for the blonde wig, any of that stuff. You just want to go play football. But now, you know, because of the pomp and the circumstance surrounding you and all of the touting that has gone on with you, that you're going to win the MVP this year, you're going to be the number 1 seed, now expectations are high. All right, you're coming off a bad game. Simple as that. You're not really playing great ball this season. 9 touchdowns, 10 turnovers. That is not good. But I do think you're still a very talented player. And Trevor, I believe in you. Go out there and get it done.
Where was the motivation?
No, I believe in you. I believe in you, Trevor. That's the motivation. All right. Number 1, Josh Allen. And Joe Brady, your new offensive coordinator, Josh, he had some words of real motivation for you. Here you go. Admit it, he's pouring it on a little thick. All right, there's no doubt about that. He's pouring it on the thick. None of us thought we would be here. Even Nick, who has been accurate about you with the roller coaster, I don't even think he thought we'd be here. 5-5 on the verge of missing the playoffs. Your OC fired because largely of you, and you owned it. You said you feel bad about it, and I get that. But here's the thing, Josh, because you are still, I believe, still a great quarterback. And the good thing for you is that this season is not over. Even though myself and others have felt like you guys aren't making the playoffs, you control your destiny. You do. You're 5-5 is far from mathematically out of it. Go out there and play well. And last year, you ended the season with 7 straight wins. The year before, you had 2 4-game winning streaks. You guys can go out there and win these games if you do your thing and play well. I know it's tough because you got Kansas City, Dallas, and they got one more really tough opponent.
Play Miami again.
Miami and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But guess what? Those are the top teams in the league. But you guys were supposed to be one of the top teams in the league. So go out there, view yourself as what Joe Brady said, the best quarterback in the league. And I got to be honest, Josh, I do still believe in you.
Oh, come on.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not like Joe Brady, but I'm trying to motivate him, and I do believe in it.
Excellent Bud list.
I'm going to stay in the AFC East, and I'm going to throw the entire Miami Dolphins team up.
Wow.
The whole entire organization. You have an opportunity, guys, to separate yourself from that guy that Broussard just finished talking about. The Buffalo Bills. They took an L last week. You were sitting back, relaxing on the beach down in Miami, sipping on tatas, whatever you were doing. Right now, you got the Raiders. They're feeling good about what they got going on, 1-2 home games against some bottom feeders. But you guys coming off that bye and a loss, you got to get your mojo back. We got to see this high-flying offense that we were coming in to love all season long. Tua, get it to Tyreek.
Yep.
Tyreek, break plays open and get this ball in the end zone and be special. You guys have an opportunity to create separation. Last season, you were sitting in this similar situation, 8-3, trying to stay right there with the Buffalo Bills, and you started to falter. 4 or 5 games losing streak. That can't happen. You have a prime opportunity to take advantage of being the head honcho in the AFC East. Don't let it slip away. And might I add, just last thing,
Please.
I heard some people talking about you guys, calling you soft. Matter of fact, to be specific, they call you break dancers. You're playing the Raiders. The Raiders. You can change that narrative.
Yeah.
Just don't break dance. Punch them in the mouth.
That, first of all break dancers aren't soft, so that don't mean you soft. It just means you like the boogie.
Well, were you saying they
dance
weren't
than fight.
soft?
You rather they're a little finesse. They're a finesse squad, and the Raiders aren't. That's their reputation. So yeah, they can go a little bit ways in kind of getting rid of that reputation, but. I think the line is high, 12 and a half.
12 and a half is a big number.
Raiders feeling good about themselves with the new coach, so, but yeah.
12 and a half, big number.
Yeah,
Miami
that's a big
coming off
number.
by. Before I give mine, just a few notes on the Bud list, since, Mahomes Mountain in Tears gets eviscerated so often from that side of the table. First one is, I saw a little Freudian slip from Brew, because he very often, when we talk Brock Purdy, he's like, I'm not saying he's great, I'm just saying... And then he called him the great Brock Purdy and talked about other greats. And so just put that away. Also, no need to mislead the audience. I did not pick Trevor Lawrence to win MVP.
But
I
you
picked him
said
to
he'd
finish
be up
second.
in okay.
And I did not
There
pick
you
the
go.
Jags
There
to be
you
the
go.
1 seed. I picked them to be the 2
That's
seed.
all close.
Which, by the way,
Thank you.
by the way,
13 and 4, I believe, is what they were going to be.
By the way, I still think they're going to be the 2 seed. But that's how I'm putting on the Bud list. I am putting Orlando Brown and the Bengals offensive line on the Bud list. I don't know if you guys remember, Orlando Brown used to play for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then he signed with the Bengals, and Tyler Boyd had this to say right after they signed him. We can play it for you. Okay, well, let's check in on that. Bruce friends at Pro Football Focus say Orlando Brown has been the 50th best tackle in football this year and has allowed the 2nd most quarterback pressures thus far this season. Luckily, tonight, you're only playing, the Baltimore Ravens, who all of a sudden have a resurgent Jadeveon Clowney, a resurgent Kyle Van Noy, and a pass rush that, despite not having A-list names, has been giving you A-list production. And you are in a must-win situation, and for what feels like the 4th straight year of Joe Burrow's career, your offensive line is in flux, but it was not supposed to be because you one-upped your arch-rival Chiefs by taking their left tackle. So, I think the Bengals' offensive line is under a bit of duress tonight, and so I'm adding them to the Bud list.
That's a good one. I mean, their line hasn't been great since Joe Burrow's been there. They've been able to get away with it, but yeah, the Ravens, lead the league in sacks, I believe. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for him tonight.
All right, for the anchor leg of the Bud list, I'm going to put the Phoenix Suns on.
Going to bat?
Because here's the thing. Last night, heard that we were going to finally see the big three. And I've been waiting with bated breath to finally see this team all together. We saw them in the preseason, and there was a lot of hype there on the cover of Sports Illustrated, even though Sports Illustrated is now a digital publication. You can pretty much call anything the cover. But we didn't see it. So I went back with Josh and tried to figure out what we have seen, and here's how it's gone so far. Opening night, you had KD, Book, no Beal. Then the next 3 games, you had KD, no Book, no Beal. Or they had Book the first game. Game 5, you had KD, Booker's back, no Beal because of his back. Then the next 2 was the same as game 3. You had KD, you had no Book, you had no Beal. Then the next 3, brand new. You had KD, Beal, and no Book. And finally, last night, some optimism. But actually, back to game 1, which was, of course, KD, Book, no Beal. So Suns are 5-6, Brew. I don't know if it's time to worry, but I'm starting to worry that I'm not going to see this big 3.
Well, look, obviously we want to see these 3 guys. They're not, even though they did what I thought was a good job of surrounding them with what they had to spend, they obviously aren't one of the deeper teams in the league. They're top heavy. They need all 3 of them. I will say this, though, since it's all about motivation with the Bud list.
Yeah.
They beat Minnesota, which has been playing like one of the best teams in the league. So even without Beal. So
KD, Steph, and LeBron are all playing unbelievable, and they're much younger in their prime. Teammates are not carrying their load for any of them.
Right.
Good.
No,
Steph's gone, too.
Well, yeah, well,
Motivation
Steph,
for Orlando Brown. I'm just curious.
that's not my job. That's his. I just add people to the bar.
Talking to
Brown?
Draymond next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.